And Mr. Hersey, we'll start out with your first of 3 questions for our opening. Tell us about yourself and why you're running for the office of Town Councilor from Precinct 3.
Thanks. Thank you. My name is Michael Hersey. I live right down the road on Homeport Drive. My family moved to the Cape in 1969. My dad got a transfer down here with the phone company. My mom was an RN. And I grew up in Centerville myself also. I went to Centerville Elementary School. Barnstable High School, 82, a little before Mr. Richardson. And then in 1985, I was in a reasonably serious car accident. I was in the I was hospitalized for 6 months. When I got out of the hospital, I recommenced my college career at 4Cs. I had a head injury and had some traumatic injuries along that line, so I had some speech therapy and some basically regaining some of my technical long-term memory. So 4Cs, UMass Dartmouth, I graduated in 1995, applied for some jobs out of college in the 95 era, and jobs weren't that plentiful, so as a lot of recent graduates do, I went back to school. So in 1998, I graduated from Southern New England School of Law. I've been practicing law since '99. When I first was admitted, I did a lot of pro bono work. Specifically, I volunteered once a week for the Non-Vets Association on Main Street in Hyannis. I also did a lot of pro bono work for legal services right here on West Main Street, 490 West Main. 2 children, they're both 11 and 9. They're in the school systems. My youngest was in the school last year. Married. I'm currently a member of the Waterways Committee. Town of Barnstable, has been for approximately the last 5 years, and I am wrapping up my 3.5-year tenure on the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Thank you. Question number 2. What do you perceive to be the major issues facing the town and your precinct?
Well, like Mr. Munafo, I think wastewater is a critical concern. I think more importantly, the water supply, the wells, things of that nature. I think the town, when the town bought the Hyannis Water District, it has failed to be reminded that it has a duty and an obligation to provide clean, safe drinking water for the people that use it. Now, we've all heard, and quite frankly, 4 years ago, it was a pinnacle argument in the election, is that the drinking water, in my opinion, and that comes out of the faucet, is virtually undrinkable. So from my perspective, the drinking water supply is critical. Obviously, wastewater management is critical. We're on a sole source aquifer. It's basically a big sandbar. It all flushes right through. So it needs to be managed. I would suggest, without knowing, that it's probably more than a town solution at some stage, not too far down the road. And then naturally, being a criminal lawyer, I see the day in and day out of criminal activity and the likes of that, and I would put that not a close second, but somewhere in the loop that it needs to be addressed. So I think, having said that, I think Chief McDonald does a great job, but he needs more support.
And finally, question number 3 for your opening is: do you have any concerns for the future of the Barnstable school system?
I too think probably the most important thing for the Barnstable schools is sustainability in a budget sense. There was previously some school committee that I didn't see eye to eye with, and not that the town council has any control over the school committee. It doesn't, with the exception of voting for approving the budget every year. And I don't think that the school committee should be given a blank check for 2.5% every year. I think I was hopeful that when they redistricted the schools, that there would be a little less administration and a little more teaching, and that unfortunately wasn't the case. So my concerns for the school system are sustainability under the current financial guidelines / crisis, and I personally would like to see less administration and more frontline teachers.
All right, thank you very much to the 3 of you for your opening questions. What we're going to do now is move to the questioning portion of our session here tonight with audience questions that we've been going through up here. And we're going to go in reverse order to keep this fair. And so the first question response will be, Mr. Hersey, you'll be answering first. And now we're into the 2-minute window, so each of you have 2 minutes to answer the question. We'll start out kind of with just a general question to get things going. For each of you, what is your overriding, motivating philosophy of local government and its purpose in Barnstable?
Overriding philosophy?
Your overriding, motivating philosophy of local government.
Well,
so what do you think? I'm not going to. I guess they're asking, what do you think government's role is, basically?
Yeah, well, I mean, government, specifically in the case of Mr. Klim, he's a day-to-day manager. He's responsible for the day-to-day operations. I think a town of this size requires a professionally educated, experienced person to run the town. I think the town, I think our charter is set up so that this is a reasonably weak town council. In some manners that's a good thing. In some manners that's a bad thing. The bad part of it is what we have right now. You have 6 people that 6 months ago liked the manager and now they don't like him, and so now we're facing having to rehire and push people out and things like that. So as a philosophy, I think less management is better, less spending, if at all possible. But I think the current form of government for this town probably works the best.
Thank you. And going in our reverse order, Mr. Richardson, would you like me to repeat the question for you?
Please.
Thank you. What is your overriding and motivating philosophy of local government and its purpose?
Thank you. Being a little bit younger than most that run for this position, I guess you could say the youngest in town history according to the papers, but my philosophy on government, I'm not too brought up to speed, I guess, to say as most people, but I'm going to try my best. Obviously, this is one of the larger towns in the state of Massachusetts. I believe our town is 5th largest in financial help, somewhere along those lines. We had the 5th largest high school. I believe leadership for this town, town manager's position is obviously a key role. He needs to be one who's not only involved in the town's community activities, but also with individuals one-on-one, which I believe Mr. Klim did very, very well. Having a town council to decide who hires the manager and how everything works and votes on everything for the citizens of the town is a good way to do it. It's one way. I mean, there are other ways to do it. That's how our town's set up currently. That's what we have to deal with, I guess. I think the town council could be very beneficial if it stays as a whole team, which is the goal, which is not the status of the town council at the moment. And I think we need to push for more involvement to not only help get the ideas of government in my generation, which I know a lot of people don't know much about, and I think getting out here and hopefully being supportive and having people support me will help me better that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Munafo, would you like me to repeat the question for you?
Yes, please.
What is your overriding, motivating philosophy of local government and its purpose?
My philosophy of local government is really my government in general. Government that governs least governs best. Smaller government is best. And people are the key for that to happen. And what we do within our community, offering ourselves, volunteering, those are the things that help build communities. It's not about what government can do for you. All right? So it's ask not what the government can do for you. Ask what you can do for your government. Really has a value, really has a meaning. Because if we can come together, then government doesn't need to grow big. We don't have to have great taxes because we're doing the work from outside the government, not from within. Many of the things that we do today when government has a place, there are things that it has to be done. But at the same time, we put too much reliance on them as being the answer rather than us being the answer. And so for me, when they talk about, basically cliches, there's value in them and they mean something. And when you look into them, we can do better. And that's what I'd like to be able to do, is whatever it is that I can for my local community. I didn't vote for this particular government because I believe that our government is best handled through direct representation. And so that's what I want to see maintained within the community. So when I ask for your help, when I ask for what it is that you would like to see, it's truly that, because I want to represent that in our present form of government.